Welcome to Akhand Vidyashram, the first institute of Impeccable Wisdom, the professional profile of the spiritual scientist. My mission, the Impeccable Wisdom, with which everything is fully known. My discovery, Divyank, with which the perfect objects are designed and created. These are foundation stone of impeccable wisdom. My professional profile from 2005. I closed my medical practice and Akhand Pharma in 2005 and I decided to focus on spiritual science research. Hence, I left Chennai for Bangalore on 20th August 2005. The first joint was NIMHANS, the National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, Bangalore. I was associated with the Department of Neurophysiology. I worked there for 3 months and department was kind enough to record my EEGs in different states of consciousness in the newly established EEG laboratory of the neurophysiology department. Dr. Bindu was very encouraging and very helpful in the process. I also produced a predominant alpha wave with open eyes, much better than what I had demonstrated for my PhD work. And I wanted to continue the postdoctoral work in NIMHANS and show how meditation or Akhand Yoga or Kundalini Yoga can improve or bring the change in alpha frequency. Normally it is said alpha frequency is like your signatures which never changes and normally it's 10.5 and today I'm able to bring to 8 Hertz frequency and during my tenure in NIMHANS I could produce at 9.43 Hertz at that stage. It was phenomenal, but unfortunately, things didn't work the way I wanted it. So I had to leave that place and go to Shri Mata Vaishno Devi University, Katra, my hometown. I had the pleasure of meeting Professor N.K. Bansal, the Vice Chancellor, and within few minutes, after looking at my book, Akhand, and discussing, he offered me the post of ad hoc visiting associate professor for a period of 6 months. I joined the university in November 2005. First 3 months, I felt like a fish out of water. A doctor, a spiritual scientist, a yoga expert in a technical university, College of Sciences, College of Management, College of Engineering. I didn't know what to do. I didn't fit into any of their programs. Then, if I was brought to Mata Vaishno Devi, my Divine Mother, once again, there must have been some purpose. The first golden opportunity must have been created only for me. I was asked to design and sponsor the souvenir of the first Shri Mata Vaishno Devi University Youth Festival, which was to be held between February 6 and 9, 2006, April. And this was the golden opportunity where I managed to design the front page, keeping in mind the 5 different houses had been designed for 5 different kinds of students for competition. House, Akash, House, Vayu, House, Agni, House, Jal, House, Prithvi. And you can see all the 5 elements being beautifully projected in the front page. And you can also see it was sponsored by Akhand Foundation, which was my charitable trust, as written very clearly, design, concept and compilation, Shibhushan Sharma. And I'm glad during inauguration of the festival, Honorable Vice Chancellor explained this concept to everybody and everybody was quite enamored that somebody could think and work like that. It was a great privilege for me. That was one opportunity. Then there was a second golden opportunity. During the youth festival, following an intense fight between engineering and management students, I was requested by Professor N.K. Bansal, the Vice Chancellor, to establish permanent harmony and peace in the fully residential university. By the time everybody has recognized that I was a medical doctor with a very good knowledge of human psychology. Incidentally, a couple of times earlier, same type of fights were there and Vice Chancellor had to rusticate students and expel them for 6 months. And he was not keen to have that kind of problem coming again and again. So I asked him, is your intention to establish peace or punish the student. He said, I want to establish peace for the rest of my career at least. I said, then give me the full chance. Let me go around finding a truth solution, what is the problem, then I'll solve it. And I'm happy within 21 days, I managed to resolve all the issues. As a result, till I was there was harmony and peace on the fully residential university. It was a big feather in my cap. Now, as a reward for this contribution of second, I was unanimously selected as the Dean of Students by the Academic Council of Shri Mata Vaishno University. Everybody felt that I was fit to be a Dean of Students and I will do very well. This was an honor, privilege and golden opportunity. I would also like to, soon after my appointment, we had a 15th August program to be held. And Vice Chancellor said, you make a program only for 1 hour. I said, no problem. Our students will create a program for about 2-3 hours, but you can sit for 1 hour and go. When the program started, everything was managed. I was just supervising the whole management. Honorable Vice Chancellor and his wife literally sat through 2.5 hours and enjoyed every bit of the program of 15th August 2006 program. Then time came for my appointment as permanent. So they asked me, what would I like to be called? I said, I want to be a spiritual scientist. So interview was conducted for spiritual science post, advertised as such, and I was interviewed by 4 leading experts from Delhi University, Banaras University, IIT Kanpur and others for almost 4 days. And at the end of 4 days, they all recognized me as a spiritual scientist. They also recognized that spirituality is science and it should be encouraged. So I was appointed as the first spiritual scientist. I was also requested to establish a School of Science and Spirituality. I designed and executed the first MSc program very effectively. It was a great going thereafter. Other positions which I held, I was a member of the Academic Council, member of the Executive Council, member of the University Research Committee, and after making the particular souvenir, I was made a member of the editorial board. But during first discussion in the editorial board, I found other members were absolutely contributing nothing. They had a negative attitude to each and everything. So I told Vansha, if you trust me, make me one-man editor of the university publication, and I produce excellent results with a direct consultation with you. And he was very honest. He wanted good work to be done. He said, okay. He appointed me and allowed me to do A to Z for all the publications on my own. But the only thing I had to do is explain to him, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing, this is what it will be, this is how it's going to be. Results were phenomenal. As a result, I was also made the first chairman of university publication. Now, as a member of the core of SMD convocation also, I was a member. Now, let us see my contribution. My senior contribution was, look at the symbol. This is a university logo designed by National Institute of Designing Ahmedabad by spending huge amount. When I looked at it, it's good, but doesn't look like a university symbol. So I improvised the symbol and used it as a front page for the annual report of 2000 and 2007. And I'm glad that later this same improvisation was converted into a rubber stamp to be used for the university. You can see on the right side. That was the first contribution which I think is significant. And then making prospectus, then making other compilations. Even Vice Chancellor wanted that university to be made equivalent to IIT Delhi. Even the 108 pages proposal as a public-private partnership were designed by me, appreciated by me, but somehow Shri Mata Vaishno Shrine Board did not want another party to come and get part into this, so they wanted to maintain, so the whole thing was done. But this was one country, and I'm glad University Archive starts with my annual report only. You go to the archive, And this is considered even today the benchmark, and everybody else is just trying to follow that. And I'm glad that Honorable Vice Chancellor also permitted me to write compilation, editing, and designing done by Shibhushan Sharma, spiritual scientist, Shri Mata Vaishno Devi University. So kind. Then I had also written certain. My first authored book was 2002, Akhand, An Essence of Universal Consciousness. This was published by Vikas Publishing, New Delhi. This is a bridge between ancient Indian wisdom and the modern sciences, and I still consider it one of my great contributions towards bringing ancient Indian wisdom in the light of modern sciences and showing that ancient Indian wisdom, Vedas and Upanishads are much more scientific than have been perceived by others. This was initial attempt, but very good. Also, while being in Sri Mata Vaishno University, I had the privilege of writing two books, one as a living Divine Mother and another was Mata Vaishno Devi. I am 100% sure I was brought to Sri Mata Vaishno University only by Mata Vaishno Devi, my Divine Mother, to reveal certain things which were not known about Sri Mata Vaishno Devi temple or legend of Mata Vaishno Devi. The living Divine Mother talks about, after confirmation from the cave, that there is a statue of 5.5 feet high with 3 stone images on top. The picture almost looks like the Tatriya picture, where I explained Saraswati, Mahalakshmi and Mahakali are integral part of universal consciousness. Then Sri Mata Vaishno Devi, the central concept was Mata Vaishno Devi is an incarnation of Goddess Durga with a scientific evidence. We all know how the Goddess Durga was created to kill Mahisasura and other demons, and after the whole war was over on Vijayadashmi, Goddess Durga wanted to get married to Vishnu, and Vishnu said, I cannot get married to you. You are in a divine consciousness of very high level. Please dissolve yourself, take birth as Vaishnavi, and then come back and I'll get married to you in the later. And then she took birth as Vaishno Devi, and this is a legend of Mata Vaishno Devi. From there, she moved on to Rameshwaram to meet Ram, and he refused because I'm going to get married only to one, not the second one. Then he requested you go to Trikuta mountain, wait there till I come there as Kalki Avatar. And she is still waiting for Kalki Avatar there. This is the information which I got to hear from her through my voice of silence, and after confirming with all the evidence available in that vicinity and bridging that was written in this particular book, Mata Vaishno Devi. I am glad that these two books made my job very clear. Maybe after that time had come, then I had to leave Katra Vaishno Devi and come back to Chennai to continue my further research into spiritual science. There is a time for everything. I think divinity knows how to use subjects and how to guide them in a way. And I am a living example of divine consciousness. The fourth book was written in 2015 called Divyank, the Divine Constant. This revealed Divyank for the first time in the world in 2015, which is the basis of the particular, all the YouTube videos I'm making centrally revolve around Divyank only. I had called it Divine Constant at that stage. Now I'm called Divine Design of Nature. The fifth book was Akhand Sutra, Integrating Thread of Nature, where almost all the 16 arts of important arts and sciences of Sanatana Dharma have been brought into one platform and explained. They are all integral part of universal consciousness. After coming back to Chennai, I joined Chettinad Academy of Research and Education Care and also Chettinad Hospital and Research Institute in the same university. You can see the university. I joined the Department of Physiology in February 2009. I was also appointed as a mentor for students, and I'm glad the maximum distinction were produced by my mentees only. And I think they appreciated the way I explain concept to them is definitely very result oriented. As a result of my extraordinary performance as a teacher of physiology, I was accepted or recognized as a person fit to be promoted as professor by the Medical Council of India itself. Based on their recommendation and the university, I was promoted as a professor of physiology in 2016 itself. A span of just 7 years. It must have been some sort of a record. Anyway, I'm happy I was given and everything went out very well. Meantime, I was also recognized as research guide and scientist in 2009. And I was given 2 students of the 22 students of the first batch. The pleasure of guiding the first successful candidate of the university goes to me. The first synopsis, first thesis, and first results were of Dr. Prasanna Naik, and incidentally, he also produced 9 original research articles in the leading journals, and 6 of them were in Scopus. And I'm sure this is a record for any new university that the first successful candidate has got 9 research articles, 6 of them Scopus, and many more laurels. And I'm also glad that I had the pleasure of getting. And after getting this degree, he got appointed as an associate professor in AIMS, Jodhpur. Within a year, he got promoted additional professor. Within 2 years, he got promoted as a full-time professor. And now he is the executive editor of a journal itself. What more could he ask, or what more could I ask for a university which is totally new? But anyway, I'm glad. 2011, I was also requested to establish the Department of Health and Yoga, design and execute the first batch of MSc. I am glad the regulations, syllabus were designed very meticulously, changed everything which the CARE was doing based on my experience as editor and chairman of Sri Mata Vyas University. I brought to the understanding of the management and executive committees of Chettinad the kind of mistake they were making in that. And I'm glad what I wrote became a benchmark, and I'm sure over a period it will become even better. And then there are many more things which I could do, but one thing that I am very glad I came back and joined the Chettinad Hospital or Medical College, you can call it, and the University, Medical University, you can call it. The biggest advantage I got when I was trying to teach this medical student based on what I had learned in Madras Medical College, that these students were absolutely no idea about perfect anatomy, physiology, and biochemistry. And all the books they were reading were giving wide range of values of anatomy, physiology, and biochemistry, and different books were giving different values. As a result, everything was in a confusion. Student did not know. As a matter of fact, I cannot blame the student because books are not good. Teachers do not know the question. There is nothing. So looking at the entire thing within a span of 11, 12 years, I realized the time for me to compile books with a perfect knowledge, knowing which everything else is known. And so things we do not have to unlearn and relearn, which is a difficult job. And I'm glad I have taken it on my head to write books from maths, physics, chemistry, biology, anatomy, physiology, chemistry, psychology, etc. over a period based on Divyank ratio, Divyank sequence, Divyank constant, so that they don't have to remember anything other than that. Meantime, when I was also asked by many other institutions how to go about doing research, I think I have contributed quite a lot. I'm happy things have been pretty good. But meantime also, Chettinad was also kind enough to encourage me or ask me to teach students, not only MBBS students, BDS student, dental students, allied health students, as well as PhD scholars. Also, I had the pleasure of working. Among all the students, I did find some of the students like Keetana, who was very intelligent otherwise, but did not know how to go about formulating how exactly to go. I had a pleasure of transforming her, guiding her for MSc Occupational Hazards and Industrial Safety from above average student to centum And now I'm glad that she is also successfully pursuing PhD work, trying to find ways how to purify water to 100% from industrial wastewater. And I'm sure she will do very well because she is focused and she will do. There's another PhD candidate, Lakshmi. She was a principal of nursing college. I designed that music, Divyank, Dhwani only for her, and we did the research to prove that with the help of this particular music, we can reduce psychosomatic problems, hypertension, other problems, and results were really phenomenal. And her thesis is also a benchmark, considered highly commended, like Prasanna Naik, and also dissertation guided by me of Kirtana also has got center marks, highly commendable. Besides that, there are many other students who benefited quite a lot and they continue to be in touch with me for their further research or post-graduation. That way, I'm thankful to Chetnut for having given me a chance to test my knowledge, promote it, and the confidence which I got by in 11, 12 years is making my presentation much better so that I can really contribute towards rewriting scientific wisdom. This particular symbol, I have been using it in Chetnut, and this originally was designed in Shri Mata Vaishno University. And now, little more improvisation, better understanding. I have used it as the last symbol for my classes in Chetnut and also for this. And we have already spoken quite a lot. And I think we will talk about it then. So, thank you very much for your kind listening and encouraging me.